We're going to hang the show at the Workers' Gallery in a very simple way, and basically that is not having frames and putting magnets in the four corners. So you just have a print, it's on the wall. I experimented with this idea a long time ago when there was the third floor gallery. I actually suggested to them that as they didn't have much money, it was silly to have frames, that they could do this. My worry at that time was that people would mutilate prints. But I argued with them that as the prints are comparatively inexpensive to make, if a print got damaged, you could take it down and put a new print up. To my absolute delight, no print that I had up there or they had in the view was ever damaged at all. People respected the prints. So one of the reasons for doing this is that it's less expensive to do. There is absolutely no doubt that if you put a frame round a print, it gives it a certain kind of status almost, which I think is dubious sometimes. It's not always. I mean, I just saw a show at the museum in Cardiff, which is, well, it's a very good example because there's one room there which is Martin Parr, who has put his prints all up with magnets in the corner, and I think it's a very joyous room. It's very casual. You don't feel you're going into some slightly awe-inspiring space that you ought to put your best suit on to go and see the pictures. So I think it's done with a purpose, and I think that's very joyous. And then there's another room there, but with August Sander pictures, which are very small because he only printed small, with frames. And the frames undoubtedly give the pictures a kind of dignity, which I would argue is the strength of the pictures. One of the things that I think is wonderful about August Sander is that you don't sense that August Sander thought he was the most important part of the picture. What's the most important part of the picture is the dignity of the people he's photographing. And I could make an argument for saying that putting those in frames gives that a certain status, etc. So there's a kind of, one can make these arguments, they're very fluid. But in my estimation, in what I like, I quite like the idea all the time of taking the pomposity out of photography. I think the gallery system, the selling of prints, which I totally endorse, but if you're not careful, it does make the whole thing a weeny bit pompous. And that one can prod that a little bit every so often in a minor way by somebody saying, oh, I'm not going to have frames. I think it's not a bad thing to do.